Welcome to Engineers Academy. Subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon to receive the notification for the upcoming videos.
Now I am going to solve this problem 114. So whenever there is a spring, so that problem becomes a bit trickier for you people, but it's not tricky, it's very simple, right? And I think it's important one as well, right? So this is problem 114. So in this problem it is said that the spring of constant K 2.6 kilonewton per meter is attached to the disc at point A. So this is a larger disc and this is a cam, right? So this spring is attached to this point A of this disc, and this disc has a diameter of 250 mm, right? So is attached to the disc at point A and to the end fitting at point B as shown, and it is also attached to this point B, right? And it says that the spring is unstretched when theta A and theta B are both 0. So this is theta A and this is theta B. When both of these thetas are 0, so then the spring is in the unstretched position, right? So this means that in that position the spring will be in its original position, right? So if the disc is rotated 15 degree clockwise and the end fitting is rotating 30 degree counterclockwise, so it is rotated clockwise, so it is rotated in this direction and this is rotated in this direction, right? So what it will do is that it will stretch this spring, right? And it is rotated 15 degrees and it is rotated 30 degrees, right? So these are those angles. So in the problem it is asked that determine a vector expression for the force F which the spring exerts at point A. So we need to find the F vector from A to B, right? So which the spring exerts at point A, right? So again it will be from A to B from this statement, right? And it is said that the magnitude of the spring force is the constant K multiplied by the deflection. So we know this. So the spring force magnitude will be equal to K and change in length, right? So this we know from Hooke's law, right? So now let's solve this problem. So first what I will do is that I will find the original length of this spring, right? So what will be the original length? So for that I will find the initial coordinates of A and B. So if I write that initial coordinates of A, and before that let's assume that this is our origin, right? So let me draw our own axes, right? So this will be our z-axis, right? This will be our positive axis, and along this line will be our positive y-axis, right? And point A is the origin, right? Sorry, this is the origin, this point is the origin, right? And this is that point A. So now what will be the coordinates of A when it is in its original position, initial position, when the disc is not rotated? So that initial position of A is here somewhere, right, on this straight line. So that distance in x along x is how much? So it is 250 mm, right? So when we have to locate this point, original point A, let me write that this is the initial position of A, right? So let me write it. So we need to travel how much? So we need to travel 250 mm along x. So I will write 250 mm, right? So this is for the original position of point A or initial position of point A, right? And since this point, this initial A position is along the x-axis, so the y coordinate will be 0, so we do not need to travel in the y direction, and also we do not need to travel in the z direction. So these are the initial coordinates of point A. And similarly, to find the initial coordinates of point B, so what will be their coordinates? So this point B will be here, right? So if this is in the initial position, so point B will be somewhere here, right? And this cam will be like this, right? So it would be like this. Let me draw it. So it would be like this. So this will be the original position of initial position of B. So what will be the coordinates of that? So how much we need to travel in along x? So we need to travel this 200 from the distance from the center of this shaft to this point B is 200, right? So this is 200, so we need to travel 200 along positive x-axis, so this will be 200. And to reach this point B, from this origin, let me write that this is origin, so we need to travel how much? So we need to travel 900 mm along y. So I will write 900, right? So this is 900, and since this point B, this initial position of this point B is on the x-axis, are parallel to x-axis, so then we do not need to travel along z. So the z coordinates of the initial B will be 0, right? So these are the initial coordinates of point A and B before rotation. So I will write before rotation, right? So these are the coordinates. So now what I will do is that I will find AB vector initial. So what will be that AB vector? So what we will do, we will subtract the coordinates of A from B. So I will write 200 minus 250 I plus 900 minus 0 J, and 0 minus 0 will be 0K, right? So let me write it. So 0K. So since these are the initial position of A, and since it is said that at the initial position when these thetas are 0, so then the length, the spring is unstretched, right? So this means that that length is the original length of the spring, right? So if we find the magnitude of this AB initial, so that will be what? So that will be the original length of that spring. So let me write that the original length is equal to AB initial magnitude, right? So that magnitude will be equal to the square of this. So this will be minus 50 whole square plus, and this 900 whole square. So this will be the original unstretched length of the spring, right? So this comes out to be how much? So the original length will be equal to 901.388, and this will be in millimeters, right? So this is the original length, the unstretched length of the spring. So let me write, so this will be unstretched length, right? So this is that unstretched length. Now what we will do is that we will consider the after rotation coordinates of A and B, right? So let me remove these now, right? So let me remove this point as well. So now I will write that after rotation, right? So now what will be the final coordinates of A, right? So let me write that as A, right? So these are AI, so these are simple A. So what will be the coordinates of A, right, at this after rotation? So now if I draw a two lines, so let me draw the two lines. So one line will be like this, and then another line, let me draw it. So as we can see that here is a small, very small right angle triangle, right? So here is a very small right angle triangle. Let me represent that. So if I draw that disc here in the front position, so let's suppose if this is that disc. So if this is that disc, so this will be the center of this disc, let's suppose. So then here is somewhere point A after rotation, right? After giving it theta A, right? And so now if I draw it like this, so this radius is how much? So this is that radius which is 250 mm, right? And if I draw a perpendicular from this, so then what will be this distance? So this distance is 250 cos of theta A. This theta A is 15 degrees. So I will write 15 degrees. So now to find the coordinates of A, if this is the origin, so then this point is the origin, right? And this is the along x direction, right? As we can see, and this is the along z direction, as we can see, right? And out of the screen is the positive y direction, right? So now as we can see that to reach this point A, so we need to travel how much along x? So we need to travel this much distance. So I will write 250 cos of 15 degrees, right? And since this point A is in the XZ plane, so there is no need to travel out of the screen, right? So there is no need to travel in the positive Y direction. So the Y coordinate will be 0. And similarly, to reach this point A, we need to travel this much distance along Z, right? So this much distance is what? So this is 250 sine of 15 degrees. And it is positive. We need to travel in the positive Z direction, right? So these are the coordinates of point A. Now to find the coordinates of point B after rotation, so let's consider this figure, right? So it is from the front view of this, right? So this is a cam profile, right? So it is the front view. So we will see from this direction, we will be able to see it like this, and this will be the positive x-axis and this will be the positive z-axis, and this angle will be how much? So this angle will be theta b, which is 30 degrees, right? So now if I draw a perpendicular from here, let's suppose if I draw that perpendicular, so let's suppose if this is that perpendicular, right, this will be making 90 degrees, and this length from this point to this point B, so this, let's suppose if this is that O point, so this OB, so this OB is how much? The center of this is, let's suppose, O dash, so O dash B, so this is 200, right, mm. So now this will be the cos component, right? So this will be 200 cos of, let's suppose if I write that this is, let's suppose, E point, so this O dash E, so O dash E is the cos component and this is the sine component, as we can see. So now to reach this point B, so how much we need to travel? So first we need to travel this much distance along the Y direction, right? So this much distance is 900 mm, right? So first I will write that we need to travel plus 900 mm along Y. Then we need to travel this straight distance, right? This straight distance, that O dash E. So this straight distance, and this straight distance is what? So it is the cos component of 200 mm. So let me write it here. So it will be 200 cos of 30 degrees, right? Similarly, in the Z direction, we need to travel, if this is the positive Z, so we need to travel this much distance in the negative Z direction, and that is the sine component. So I will write minus 200 sine of 30 degrees, right? So again, from this point O, we need to reach this point B. So we will travel 900 mm along Y. So this is that Y coordinate. Then we need to travel this straight distance along X. So that is 200 cos of 30. And then we need to travel downwards, right? This distance, and this distance is this sine component. So this will be in the negative Z direction. So it is minus 200 sine of 30. So now what we will do is that we will find AB vector. So AB vector, and it is equal to, so this will be equal to 200 cos of 30 degrees minus 250 cos of 15 degrees I plus 900 minus 0 J plus minus 200 sine of 30 degrees minus 250 sine of 15 degrees into K. So this will be the AB vector, and this will be the stretched length. If we find the magnitude of this AB vector, so that will be the stretched length of this spring, right? So first let me find this AB vector. So AB vector will be equal to, so now when we solve these, so we get this AB vector, right? Here I need to mention that I am writing these components until 3 decimal places, right, in order to get this exactly same this answer, right? So I am rounding off the 3rd decimal place value, right? So this is AB vector, right? So now to find the AB magnitude, so that AB magnitude will be equal to the stretched length of the spring, right? So I will write stretched length. So this is the stretched length, and this is the unstretched length. So this will be equal to 68.276 whole square plus 900 square plus minus 164.705 square under the root 2. So this comes out to be 917.491 mm, right? Since we have used these coordinates in mm, so this will also be in mm, right? So this is the stretched length. Now the change in length will be equal to, so change in length will be equal to stretched length minus the original length. So stretched length is 917.491 minus the original length, so that is 901.388. so we will get that change in length. So this is that change in length in millimeters, so I will write millimeters as well, right? Now we need to find this magnitude. So this is the magnitude of the spring force, so I will write the F magnitude, and it will be equal to K delta L. So K is 2.6 kilonewton per meter, right? So as we can see, this is 2.6 kilonewton per meter, multiply by 16.103, and this is in mm, right? So to convert this into meters, we need to have same units. So if this is in meters, so this should be in meters. So convert it into meters. So what we will do, we will divide it by 1000, so that we have this in the meters, right? So this will be then in meters. So now as we can see, this is 2.6 kilonewton. So this kilo means 1000. So this 1000 will be cancelled with this 1000. So we will be only left with 2.6 multiplied by this 16.103, and that will be in newtons. So this comes out to be 41.868 newtons. Now at the end, what we will do is that we will find that F vector in terms of I, J and K. So F vector will be equal to F magnitude multiplied by the unit vector A, B, since the force is from A to B. So force magnitude is this, so it is 41.868, and this will be AB vector divided by AB magnitude, right? So I will write it like this. So it will be 41.868 divided by this AB magnitude. So AB magnitude is how much? So this is the AB magnitude. So we will write 917.491 into AB vector. So this is that AB vector, right? So this AB. So I will write minus 68.276I plus 900J minus 164.705K, right? So we will get the F vector. So let me solve this. So when I multiply this value with all of these components, so then what we get that force vector in terms of I, J and K, and this is that vector, right? So this is the solution of this problem.